Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Shana, and we have an awesome one for you today. Today, we're doing 60 minutes of strength and conditioning using the TRX suspension trainer and the TRX Mini Bands. And I think this workout is really fun because I love new exercises, and we're doing lots of new exercises. We're going to alternate exercises on the suspension trainer and with the mini bands, and then we're also going to kind of do some fun combination exercises between the two as well. At the end of the workout, we're doing a 6-minute AMRAP, meaning you're doing as many rounds as possible, really challenging your cardiovascular conditioning. And then, of course, if you survive until the end, we're going to do some fantastic stretches. So let's get started with your warm-up. I'm going to have you start with your standing rollout. Straps are at mid-length. Let's stand facing away from the anchor point. If you've done my workouts before, you'll notice we do a very similar warm-up, and because it's a pretty good one. Squeezing everything nice and tight, shoulders in your back pockets. Let's roll the hands out a touch, and then bring them right back directly beneath your shoulders. Keeping that core nice and tight and braced. Shoulders down and back, actively driving down into those handles. We're not trying to kill you yet. We're just engaging your core, starting to talk to those muscles, and finding that straight body alignment. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Squat row combo. Straps stay at mid-length. Stand facing the anchor point. Lean back just a touch. Feet a little wider than shoulder width apart. Drop the bucket down. Get a nice stretch through your hips. Plank and row and plank. Squat, plank, shoulder blades, plank. Really drop those hips down. Feel the stretch in your knees and the hips. And if you want to hang out down there for a second, that's fine. Come back up to the plank. Big engagement behind your shoulder blades. One more of each of those. Squat, plank, squeeze, and plank. Let's do your forward lunge with Y fly. Straps are at mid-length. I'll have you standing facing away from the anchor point in that Frankenstein position. Take a big step forward with your right foot. Gently lower your left knee toward the floor. Actively press into the handles. Come right back up. Step the left foot forward. Gently lower your right knee. Oh, I'm tight on that right hip. Feels good. And press it back. So we're stretching open your chest, your shoulders, the hip flexors on the back leg, working that lunge pattern, and engaging your core as you stand back up again. Let's do one more on each side. And press it down. Good. Up next, single leg hip hinge. So straps are still at mid-length. They stay there the entire warm-up. Stand facing the anchor point. Walk it back with your arms straight out in front of you. Let's center your left foot to the anchor. Actively press down on the handles with your hands. Hinge forward, keeping your body in one straight alignment, and pull it back up. Engage behind your shoulder blades. Get a nice long hinge. Are you pointing those pinky toes down toward the ground? Are your hips square to the floor? Are you keeping your ears, your shoulders, your hips in that back heel in perfect alignment? We have 10 seconds left on this side, and then we're going to switch to the other side. Do you feel that nice stretch in your hamstrings on the bottom? And you notice when you really press down in the handles, your core engages more. Switch feet, keep going. Single leg hip hinge on the right foot. Stretch and return. Now my right side is my dominant side, so I can already feel a difference. A little more mobile, a little more stable on this side. And that's okay, but that's why we do some unilateral work, where we train one side and then the other to help even out those discrepancies. Keep actively pressing down, getting a nice stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. TRX Lateral Lunges. Give me a nice wide stance, toes pointed directly forward. Shoulders are down and back. Bend the right knee, press the hips back, get a nice stretch through your inner thighs. Pull yourself back up, and then the other side, bend the left knee. Again, you're trying to go fairly low, but you're also unloading your body weight with the straps. And I'm dropping straight down like an elevator, not falling backwards and forwards like an escalator. Just shifting that weight side to side. Maybe going a little bit lower every time. Are you keeping those toes pointed straight in front? 10 seconds left. Inhales and exhales. Body's waking up. Starting to move a little bit better. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. TRX golfer's rotation with a shoulder press. So my straps are at mid-length. I'm gonna stand, actually I'll use this one so you can see me a little better. I'm gonna stand facing the anchor point, hands belly button height, press down. Have you rotate all the way up to the top, stop. You're 180 degrees facing the other side. Now bend the elbows, thumbs to your earlobes, and press it back up. Now we'll swing through the other side. Stick the landing, bend the elbows, press it back up. So I'm getting some shoulder mobility and working on that rotation. Now if this is too much strain on your shoulders or your back, you can walk a little bit closer to your anchor point or your door, if that's where you have your straps anchored. Pivoting through, stretch. Trying to keep that distance between your shoulders and your ears. I'm gonna do one more on each side, and then we'll get you set for this workout. Last one. All right. Now it's time to begin. So what we're doing is we're doing 4 groups of sets. 4 sets. So we have 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of rest, 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of rest. We'll be pairing a movement on the straps and pairing a mini band movement, and sometimes we'll combine the two. Our first grouping is going to be TRX plank with hip abduction, and then mini band plank kickbacks. So let's get you set up for the plank with hip abduction in the suspension trainer first. Straps are at mid-calf length. Dun, dun, dun. Have a seat facing your anchor point. We're gonna pop those toes in. 2 fingers in each foot cradle, hold it wide in your A-frame. Tuck your knees into your chest, dive the toes in the backside, flip it over so that you're ground facing away from the anchor point. We're gonna go in 10 seconds, but for that good rep, you're driving your heels back, legs come open and close. Number 1 rule is you never let your hips sag. You guys ready? Let's go in 3, 2, and 1. Hit it, strong plank, apart and together. I'm actively pressing my hands down into the floor. I'm pushing down on the foot cradles to create that full body tension. Squeezing my buns, holding that nice strong plank. Shoulder blades are engaged. 10 seconds left, slow and controlled. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're gonna do your banded plank kickbacks. I'm gonna grab my mat for this one. I'm gonna have you put probably one of your lighter bands around your ankles, and we're gonna get into your forearm plank position. You felt those glutes work a little bit during that last plank. We're gonna kick it up a notch here. On your forearms, strong plank, you'll pick up one heel and then the other. You ready? 2 and 1. Strong plank, hit it. Then I pick up one heel, set it down. Those buns are firing. Squeezing and bracing. We're setting your core for the rest of this workout. Eyes out ahead of you slightly. Looking beyond those fingertips. Squeezing, lifting. And notice I'm lifting up at a slight angle and back. Not just straight up in the air or straight out to the side. 2 and 1. Good. Let's get that band off. And we're gonna do your plank with hip abduction again in the suspension trainer. You have 20 seconds to get back in those straps. Hopefully you're quite efficient at that now. 2 fingers in each foot cradle, hold it wide, roll it back, toes in, flip it over. Ground facing away from the anchor point. We're going in 10 seconds, you ready? Hopefully you're somewhat recovered from those last 2 sets of planks. Here's our 3rd set of fun. And coming up, squeeze it, open and close. Slow and deliberate. Do not let those hips sag. Push down, bring it in. If you need to modify for a second, you can stop, reset, and then come right back in, especially if you're feeling those hips sag. Are you driving those heels back into the handles? We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently set your knees down. Double butt kick to get out of there. We're going back to your plank with banded kickbacks. I'm still using my easiest band, but of course, if you want to grab a higher level, you are more than welcome to. But keep in mind, we've got lots of adventures today. So I'm going to put that band around my ankles. I like these TRX bands. They're just a little bit thicker. They stay on my legs a little better. And you're going to be ground facing away on your forearms. 2 and 1. Squeeze, lift, and set down. I'm holding it for a second. And again, I'm not letting my body rotate as I pick that leg up. I'm kicking out and to the side, pressing into the floor, resetting between each rep. You have 10 seconds left. Then we get a minute recovery after this. You're welcome. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Take that band off your ankles. Grab a sip of water if you'd like. And then we're going to alternate your TRX Y fly and your band rear delt squeeze. So many fun new exercises today. So your TRX Y fly, I'll show you with this angle first. Straps at mid-length. If you want them a little longer, that's fine. Standing facing the anchor point. You still have 30 seconds. Arms are in a Y position. One foot directly in front of the other. I'm going to bend my back knee lower down to my plank. Shoulder blades in my back pockets, arms straight. Stick the landing. This offset foot stance helps keep constant tension on the straps. So let's get into position. TRX Y fly, straps at mid-length, stand facing. Find that Y position, big squeeze behind your shoulder blades. One foot in front of the other, lower down, body planked, let's go. Now, do you have that space between your ears and your shoulders? Is your body staying as straight as a surfboard as you move down and up through this movement? Are you keeping your arms totally straight? If those elbows are bending, that means you're cheating. If you want to make it more challenging, you can walk under a little bit, but make sure you can keep that nice, straight, strong plank and arms straight. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, banded rear delt squeeze. I'm going to have you grab your lightest band for now. You can always upgrade later. And place it around your forearms. Zoop, zoop. You're going to hold it out in front of you like you're doing the plank. And then the exercise, you're just going to squeeze behind your shoulder blades, bring the band right to your chest, and return. You're just engaging behind your shoulder blades, just like you were with those Y flies. Going in 3, 2, and 1. I squeeze, pull apart, and return. Now the key here is making sure those shoulders are once again away from your ears. You feel that engagement. You might be able to see behind my shoulder blades. And, of course, your rear delt. It's called the band rear delt squeeze. So clearly you're feeling it in your rear delts. But the trickiest part is to keep your neck relaxed. Stevie Wonder your head, as we say. And 5, 4, because he plays the piano, does that. 3, 2, and 1. All right, set that down. We'll come back to that shortly. Roll out your shoulders, swing out your arms. We're going to go back to those Y flies again. So straps at mid-length. I'll come at this angle this time. Stand facing the anchor. Make sure you have one foot directly in front of the other. End range of motion. Arms are up at that Y position, but I'm going to lower them down because we still have 10 seconds to rest. The key is keeping your arms straight and your body straight. The only thing mobile is at your shoulders. All right, here we go. And hit it. Bend the back knee. Shoulders away from your ears and come back up. Imagine you've got a long, dangly pair of earrings hanging from your ears. I want to see them. I don't want you to hide them by bringing those shoulders up. Big squeeze behind the shoulder blades. We have 15 seconds left. If that's too easy, you can wiggle forward a touch. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Talk about challenging strength. We got a lot of volume of work here. We're going back to those banded rear delt flies here. The band goes right around your forearms, but right now just roll out your shoulders, relax your neck. The tricky one with this is to make sure you're not using your traps in your neck to do the exercise. You're using behind those shoulder blades. Right? If you're using a bigger band and you feel like you're just getting tight, grab a lighter band or limit your range of motion. Plank position, buns tight, ribs tucked, squeeze and return. Squeeze and return, like we're doing an Arnold press, but we're not pressing, we're just opening. Squeeze behind those shoulder blades. Again, you should feel those shoulder blades engage. Feel the back of your shoulders, buns tight, ribs are tucked in. 5, 4, 3, 2, You survived that series. Nice job. We're going to get down to the ground here and do your TRX banded hip presses. And then out of the straps, we're going to do a banded single leg glute bridge. I'm going to grab my medium-sized band for this combo. But keep in mind, all 4 sets, that band is staying on just above your knees. So put on your rubber band underpants right above your knees. We're going to start with your TRX hip presses. I'm going to bring my mat into place here. I'm going to bring my straps down to mid-calf length, handles just below knee height. Have a seat. And I want to make sure that those foot cradles are dangling just above your toes. Now let's get your heels in the foot cradles. Hold it wide again, just like we did for getting toes in. Tuck your knees in. Drop those heels down on top of your fingers and bend your knees to 90 degrees. Now, if you're on your door anchor, you want your feet hovering just in front of the door. If not, keep your knees and hips at 90. Squeeze and lift. Now, the entire time, you're also pushing this band apart. So I'm driving my heels down, pressing my hips up, and keeping tension on that band. You be in control of the band. Don't let the band control your knees. Now, when you press up, are you getting a straight line from your knees to your hips to your shoulders? Are your toes back towards your shins? 3, 2, and 1. Good. Come on out of there. We've got your single leg glute bridge. I'm going to start on my right side. You can shake it out a little bit if you want to. Let those legs relax. But when you're ready to go, we're going in 20. You're going to ground that right foot, left leg up, keeping the tension, lift and tap. With that band there, you don't want the band to just go for the ride. You want to actually make sure you're pulling on it a bit. So let's ground your right foot, left leg up, squeeze, and 30 seconds just on this side. It's a lot harder than it looks, especially after doing those hip presses. I'm keeping that tension on the band. I'm driving my right hip up so I have that straight line from my knee to my hip to my shoulders. Notice how I also have my palms up. That helps keep proper posture as my head and shoulders are on the ground. You want to squeeze the bum and lift it up. Oh, all right. Good news is you're done with that. Bad news is we still have to go back in for another round of TRX hip presses. 2 fingers in each foot cradle. Hold it wide. Roll it back, drop those heels in. Now, what I was saying before is you want to make sure your knees stay bent. It's tempting as you lift your hips up to let the legs extend. Don't do that. Pretend like you do have a door right on the other side of your feet, and you don't want to kick that door. All right, guys, toes back towards your shins. We're going in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Buns tight, lift, and tap. Do you have that tension on your band? And squeeze. Squeezing the buns first. By squeezing your bum, you give your hamstrings a little bit of a break. You allow your glutes to do some of the work too. Let them help and engage. Toes are back towards your shins, actively pressing up. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we have one more set. Ooh, I'm going to stretch out those hamstrings for a second. We have one more set of that single leg glute bridge. So I'm going to ground my left foot to the ground. We still have 20 seconds. My right leg will be up. Make sure you have tension on the band, and you'll lift and tap. Again, really think of squeezing the bum as you drive those hips up and unhinge them. Sadly, we don't have time for a nap. We have to go again in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That left foot is grounded, pressing through the floor, driving the hips up. Again, squeezing the bum and keeping tension on the band the whole time. It's tricky, isn't it? Is your head on the ground? Are your shoulders on the ground? When you get done with this, you should have a nice full body sweat print, at least an upper body print. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh my goodness, get out of there. All right, we're gonna do your TRX banded squats, and then we're gonna do double banded overhead squats off the straps. So your TRX banded squats, I'm gonna have you grab probably your heaviest band, and we're gonna bring that band directly above your knees here. And all we're gonna do is your regular TRX squat. So my straps are at mid-length. I'm standing facing the anchor, but what this band does is it forces you to actively press your knees out directly above your feet. That helps you engage here, which really helps your squat form and firing these smaller, really important glute muscles. Guys, we're going in 10, straps at mid-length, stand facing, hands out in front of you slightly, shoulders are down and back. Push the knees out so they're directly above your middle toes. Perfect posture. Here we go. Lower down as low as you safely can. Keeping tension on that band. Squeeze your buns. Come on up. I'm using the handles, probably not to help me with my squat. I'm guessing you guys don't need the assistance. Okay, but what I'm doing is I'm gently tugging on the handles to help engage behind my shoulder blades. Okay. Also, you see my knees wobbling? If I stop thinking about that band, my knees try to come right back in. So I have to stay active in my bum to make sure the band doesn't buckle my knees in. All right, double banded overhead squats. This one's cool. So keep this heavy band around above your knees unless you need to make it a little bit easier. And I'm gonna grab my light band and put it at my wrists or in the middle of my forearms. So I'm gonna have this band engaging here, this band engaging here, and that helps me set my shoulder blades in my back pockets, kind of like with those rear delt flies we did with the band. So all sorts of craziness happening here. Let's get into position, engage, brace, and drop the bucket down, pressing through the floor, come back up. So you'll notice, even though we haven't really added weight, except for the weight of these two small bands, we have a lot more muscles firing. My arms are pressing up toward the ceiling. My knees are keeping that band apart, not letting it buckle in. My hands are keeping tension on that band and space between my ears and my shoulders. 5, 4, these are hard, aren't they? 3, 2, and 1. Good, set that band down. It looks ridiculous, but it's really good for you. Back to your TRX banded squats. So you got your 30 seconds off, shake out your hips. Probably starting to feel something right here. This is probably where you're going to be sore tomorrow because we're doing so much right here. But who knows? You might get surprised. All right, going in 10 seconds. TRX banded squats. Straps at mid-length. Stand facing the anchor. A little bit of slack on the straps to start. Knees over your middle toes. Here we go. Drop the bucket down and up. Now, holding onto the suspension trainer, you can probably get a little more range of motion. And I know that varies for everybody. But see if you can go safely a little further than you normally do with your squat. Making sure you maintain a neutral spine, not letting the tail tuck under as you come down. 10 seconds left here, perfect posture. Stevie Wonder the neck. Let me see those earrings. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, that double banded overhead squat. Grab your lightest band again, or if you're up for a challenge, go up a little bit. Band is around my wrists. Enjoy this rest break. You have 20 seconds left. Give that bum a little rest. We're going in 10. Remember, you're going to hit that overhead position. Imagine you're holding on to an Olympic bar, but you just happen to be pulling that band apart. Notice how my shoulder blades retract into press when I get into that position. That's our goal. All right, double banded overhead squat. The knees track directly over your middle toes. My chest stays tall and proud. Now when I'm squatting down, I'm trying to avoid hinging too far forward. It's really tempting to take a bow, especially with this one. Drop your bum straight down and up like an elevator, not an escalator. Fight those knees apart. Keeping engagement in that lighter band on top. And 3, 2, and 1. Good. Heather, wasn't that crazy? All right, we're gonna combine 2 different types of mountain climbers. Now, normally when you think of mountain climbers, you think of super fast cardio conditioning, getting your heart rate up. But both versions of these mountain climbers are gonna be slow and controlled and downright painful. So your mountain climbers in the TRX suspension trainer, we're gonna get your toes in those foot cradles. So straps are at mid-calf length, handles a little lower than knee height. Have a seat. Once again, we can double check that length. The foot cradle should be dangling just above your toes. 2 fingers in each foot cradle, hold it wide in a Christmas tree. Roll back, dive your toes into the back side of the foot cradles. You're in that happy baby yoga pose. Keeping your knees bent, cross your top leg over. Now I'm ground facing away from the anchor point. We're going in 10. Let me show you. I pull the knee in, my hips come up, come back to my plank. It's so fun. Ready? And hit it. Strong plank, driving my heels back. One knee comes in, hips come up, sink it down. So as I bend that knee in, my hips flex just a touch. Just make sure when you come back, the hips aren't sagging. It's a little bit of a pike and back. Also, make sure your shoulders are directly above your wrists. If you rock forward too much, which is tempting because it makes it easier, you're going to feel a pinch in your wrists. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Double butt kick to get out of there. I'm going to grab my lightest band. You might want to do your light or your medium band. Put it around my toes for the banded mountain climbers on the ground. So just around my middle feet like that. And then I'm going to be in my regular plank position. And once again, these are slow and controlled, pulling on that band for resistance. We're going in 5 seconds. Come up to your strong plank. Make sure you have some tension on that band. 3, 2, and 1. Pull one knee in and reset. Other knee in, reset. Kind of neat, huh? Body stays straight and planked. You get that extra abdominal flexion with that band. Making sure your spine stays straight. Squeezing the glutes, especially between each rep. Sticking the landing. We have 10 seconds left. Yep, I think the lightest band is just fine here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Taking that band off, we have to get in position again for your TRX mountain climbers. So straps stay at mid-calf length. I'm going to be ground facing away from the anchor point. I'm going to hang out here for just a second. Now, when you have your feet in the foot cradles, heels in or toes in, you really want to drive those heels back. Okay, if you find your feet are popping through, no problem. Just let them pop through. I've got the TRX Pro version, so I was able to modify the length of my foot cradles. Pretty awesome. All right, mountain climbers, here we go. Strong plank, one knee in, hips up, stick the landing. I'm actively pressing my hands into the floor. Eyes are looking out slightly ahead of my fingertips. Push down and stick the landing. We have 10 seconds to go. You're driving down with your feet and with your hands to help your hips come up just a touch. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holy core, double butt kick. Let's get that other band around your feet again. I'm sticking with my light band. If you think you got it in you, you can grab your medium or heavy, but this is plenty for me. Bring that around my middle toes. And once again, I'm going to flip it over into my plank position. Keeping tension on that band. And it's really important that when you plank, your hips don't sag. Your body stays perfectly straight. 2 and 1. Tension on the band. Pull one knee in. Plank. Other knee in. Plank. Squeezing the buns. Stick the landing. Everything is tight and braced. Slow and controlled. These are a lot different than your cardio mountain climbers. We're focusing on every muscle being engaged and perfect alignment. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You finished that series. Nice job. All right. We're going to stay in this position and do some TRX banded push-ups and some lateral walking banded push-ups. Oh my gosh. So we've been doing a lot with the band around the ankles, around the feet. Now we're going to put that band just below your elbows for these push-ups. So let's get those toes in the foot cradles, and it'll be ground facing away from the anchor point for your TRX push-ups. And yes, we have 4 sets of push-ups coming up in case you didn't guess. So I'm going to pop them in, flip them over. Okay, now we're going in 15 seconds. I'm going to place this band just below my elbows on my forearms. It's not very graceful, sorry. And we're going in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Strong plank, lower down, pressing into the floor. Now by having that band there, you're forcing it apart. You're making those shoulder blades engaged, keeping your shoulders a little more stable as you do your push-up. We actually use a cue of pressing the floor apart with your hands. Well, now you're literally doing that with the band. 3, 2, and 1. Double butt kick to get out of there. Shake it out for a second. We're gonna do the same thing with the band around your forearms. We're gonna do a push-up, walk left, push-up, walk right. So once again, we're setting those shoulder blades in your back pockets. You still have 15 seconds left, though, to rest. I feel like I'm tied up here. So I'm just gonna kind of rest and roll it out like this. It's really hard to be graceful and sexy with these bands on. 3, 2, and 1. Push up and walk. Walk, push up, bring it back. Squeeze the buns, bam. I'm really actively driving into the floor. Whew. It's like Iron Man with his hand repulsors. As I come back up, I'm being repulsed away from the floor. 10 seconds left. Sorry, I have 2 boys. Everything's a superhero reference. Down and drive, side to side. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, now we're going back in the suspension trainer again for those banded TRX push-ups. Starting to feel them now, huh? At least I am. So feet in the foot cradles will be ground facing away from the anchor point. There, and flip it over. If you need a modification from the full TRX push-up, you can set your knees down or just take a little reset during the set. All right, bands around my forearms, into position, 2 and 1. Stick the landing, push up, press. Again, are your shoulders directly above your wrists? Is your body as straight as a surfboard? Nice and strong. 15 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Double butt kick to get out of there. We have one more set of push-ups. We're gonna do those banded lateral walking push-ups. So roll out your shoulders, let your neck relax, shake it out in 20 seconds. We're gonna get into position and do your push-up, side step, push-up, side step. And then I promise we're done with push-ups for the day. I'm not gonna throw those in the AMRAPs because, quite frankly, as good as they are for me, I hate them. All right, strong plank. Here we go. And push-up. Sideways, sideways, push-up. Return. Now, as much resisting rotation as possible. Try not to let your hips wiggle as you move sideways. Got a bowl of ice cream on your back. And I take my ice cream very seriously. Don't spill it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Get out of there. Oh my gosh, good job. Grab a sip of water. We're gonna move on to some really cool stuff here. We're going to combine the band and the straps for your TRX Banded Low Row. And then we're gonna do a single leg banded Romanian deadlift off the straps. Quite honestly, 2 of my favorite moves of the day. Now for the TRX Banded Low Row, I'm gonna stick with my lighter band because, quite frankly, my shoulders are sore from those push-ups. We're gonna fully shorten your straps. Now, band, once again, just below the elbows. Okay, you'll be standing facing the anchor point. Hands are at your rib cage, squeezing tight. Now I'm gonna have you straighten those arms out, heels dug into the floor, eyes at the anchor, and big squeeze. Going in 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so you're keeping tension on that band at all times. And what that's doing, once again, is forcing you to engage behind your shoulder blades. My head is floating off of my shoulders. My buns are tight. My toes are up towards my shins. We have 10 seconds left, slow and controlled, keeping tension on that band. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, release that. Ditch that lighter band. I'm gonna have you grab probably your medium band. You might wanna upgrade to heavy later. Single leg hip hinge to single arm low row. I'm gonna put my mini band under my left toe or the ball of my left foot and grab it with my right hand. Now I'm gonna balance on the left foot, hinge forward. Remember those single leg hip hinges we did in warm up? And then I'm gonna row, and then return. Ready? Here we go. It's hinge, squeeze behind the shoulder blade, stand back up. Try not to set your right foot down unless you're absolutely losing that balance. Unhinge. Hinge, squeeze shoulder blade, unhinge. Keeping those toes pointed down and forward, squeeze, and return. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's go back to that banded low row on the suspension trainer. I'm gonna grab that light mini band, and I'm gonna have it below my elbows, close to my wrists. Straps are fully shortened, stand facing the anchor, hands are at my rib cage. I'm squeezing against the band, engaging behind my shoulder blades. I'm gonna walk a little lower this time. Toes are up towards my shins. Going in 5, 4, 3, eyes at the anchor, 2, and 1. Straighten those arms, big squeeze behind your shoulder blades. Keeping tension on the band. You have to forcefully keep those hands apart so that you're engaging behind your shoulder blades. It's easy to let them relax and come together the full time that band is stretching. Ribs are hidden. Are you still squeezing your buns? Lots to think about here. 10 seconds remaining. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, nice job. Let's do that single leg banded Romanian deadlift with a row. That's a mouthful on the other side. So I'm gonna grab my medium band. I'm gonna place it under the ball of my right foot and grab the band with my left hand. Quick demo, we're going in 10 seconds. I hinge forward, row, and then come back up, squeezing behind the bum. Let's try it in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hinge, row, return. Drive the hips forward. Hinge, squeeze, woo, return. So notice how there's a lot of balance involved. And you're really squeezing the bum and hamstrings to stand back up against that resistance. Still keeping the shoulder blades in the back pockets. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Get out of there. All right. We're getting closer and closer to that AMRAP. But up next, we have your TRX Lateral Lunges and then a banded hip abduction. So for your TRX Lateral Lunges, you want your straps at mid-length. Stand facing the anchor point. You'll have a little bit of slack on those straps. And when you take a step with your right foot, you keep that right foot pointed directly forward toward the anchor. That's the trickiest part. So my right foot points forward, I bend the right knee, sink the hip down, step together. And then I'll step to my left toe stays forward, sink the left hip down, step together. Your brain wants to turn that foot out to the side. Make sure you keep it pointed directly forward. Also, you're not falling backwards and forwards. Just like in warm-ups, you're going straight down and up like an elevator, not an escalator. All right, we're doing those alternating lateral lunges in 3, 2, and 1. I'm stepping over my right. I bend my right knee. My left leg stays straight. Step to the left. And sometimes it's tricky. You have to bend the leg you land on, and the opposite leg stays totally straight. And once again, you may not need to use the straps to really help pull yourself up. However, you can at least use them to feel that engagement behind your shoulder blades. 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Your banded hip abduction. I'm going to take my medium band, maybe you can do heavy, and put it just around my ankles. It's going to be a little bit of balance game and a little more glute strength fun. I'm gonna balance on my left foot to start. You might have to remind me the next set to make sure I remember that. And my right leg is gonna come straight out to the side and return. Are you ready? We're going in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I press it out and return. Tight here. Oh my. And if you wanna have fun with this, you can kind of change the angle and kick it back a little bit. Kick it forward a little bit. straight out to the side, but everything in my body is mobile. It's only this hip right here. Sorry, everything in my body is stable. It's only this hip right here that's moving. Nothing else in my body is moving. I'm not leaning forward. My tummy is tight. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You'll also notice this hip probably fired a little bit too, just trying to keep your body stable. All right, we got those TRX lateral lunges again, straps at mid-length. Stand facing the anchor point, roll out your shoulders, shake out your legs. Oh yeah, those bum muscles are definitely doing something today. Remember, tomorrow, soreness right here. Going in 5, lateral lunges, 3, 2, and 1. I'm gonna step to my left, bend the left knee, and bring it center. Step to the right, bend the right knee, bring it center, alternating sides. My eyes are up, my shoulders are down. I'm really bending at that knee, pressing the bum back. Chest is up tall and proud. 15 seconds left. Let's challenge that depth. See if you can go a little lower, avoiding knee pain. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's do that banded hip abduction again. So I'm gonna grab my medium. And now, I'm gonna keep my right foot grounded. And I'm gonna kick that left leg out to the side, trying to find the balance in the right leg. We've got 10 seconds left. Stretch it out, shake it out. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect posture. Kick it out and return. Are those shoulders away from your ears? Do you notice a difference on this side? I do. I swear I used the same band last time. Everything's braced. Remember, you can kick back a little bit. You can kick forward just a little bit, or directly out to the side. Everything is tight. Grounding that foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good news and bad news. Good news. We only have one more 4-setter here with your bicycles. We're gonna do your TRX abdominal bicycle and your banded abdominal bicycle. Bad news is then we move into your 6-minute AMRAP, as many rounds as possible. But good news again, we stretch after that and you're done. So we're going to do your TRX abdominal bicycle. Straps are at mid-calf length. So again, those knees are just below knee height. I'm gonna have you take a seat facing your anchor. This is a fun one. 2 fingers in each foot cradle. Hold it wide in your Christmas tree. You should be getting good at this by now. Roll it back, drop your heels on top of your fingers. Extend your legs. Again, make sure your toes fall back towards your shins. My hands are behind my head, but I'm gonna relax my head into my hands. I'm pushing downward into the foot cradles, feeling your glutes engage. I'm gonna bring my left elbow to my right knee and return. 3, 2, and 1. So I lift the shoulder up, but the trick is you have to actively downward press into the foot cradles. It's not fast, fast, fast. Just like those mountain climbers, it's slow and controlled. And you're driving downward into the foot cradles. That helps keep your hip flexors out of the equation and more light up the back side of your body. Now, just like a regular abdominal bicycle, you should be relaxing your head back into your hands, not pulling to lift yourself up. Awesome. You're gonna stay right there, but grab your lightest band. Okay, now I'm gonna put that band around my toes. And this is gonna be kind of an opposite feeling, because now I'm kind of pulling the band in with each repetition. Should be fun. Laying on your back, we're going in 10 seconds. So it's here, and I'm kind of pushing and pulling with that band. Going in 3, 2, and 1. I bring my left elbow to my right knee, fully extend the left leg, and switch. So now you actively have to push that leg away from you and pull the other knee in towards your body. All sorts of stuff is firing here. Relaxing your head into your hands, push and pull with those legs. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Come on out of there. One more round of the TRX abdominal bicycle. Heels in those foot cradles. Roll it back. You still have 20 seconds, so you can kind of let those legs hang dangle. Reach your arms above your head. Enjoy this rest break. We're going in 10 seconds. Kind of let those legs swing. All right, done being comfy. We're going in 5, 4, 3, toes back to your shins, and here we go. Opposite shoulder, opposite knee, dragging down into the foot cradles as you rotate up toward that knee. Pushing down, pulling in. Relaxing that into your hands. Big inhales and exhales. Push and drag. 10 seconds to go. Make sure those straps aren't sawing. You should have equal tension in both foot cradles as you move. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, one more round of abdominal bicycles here. I'm going to have you put that band around your toes again, or actually around the middle of your feet, actually. Hey, I'm going to stick with my light band. You're welcome to upgrade if you think you're ready. We're going in 15 seconds. Remember, this is slow and deliberate, and there's a push-pull action with those legs. Going in 10 seconds, getting into position. Whew. How are your abs feeling? Mine are on fire. 3, 2, and 1. Alternate and push. Push and pull. Whew. Rotate through. Nice job, guys. Really lifting your shoulders off the ground. I say nice job. I actually don't know if you're doing a nice job, but I'm just going to assume. Because you're listening to my coaching and trying your hardest. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh my goodness, get out of there. All right, we've got a minute and a half to get you set up for your AMRAP. AMRAP stands for as many rounds as possible. So we have 3 different exercises, 10 reps of each exercise, and we're going to put 6 minutes on the clock. Your job is to keep trucking through those exercises with perfect form and see how many times you can complete those rounds in 6 minutes. The cool thing about an AMRAP is you get to stop and rest whenever you want. And the really cool thing about the AMRAP is if you do this workout again later, which I hope you do, you can see that improvement over time. You'll see those numbers increase as you have more of a cardiorespiratory capacity. Okay, so let's go over your exercises here. I'm going to use my medium band here. And I'm actually going to keep my medium band just above my knees the entire 6 minutes. Okay, we're going to start with your banded squat jacks, 10 of them, using the suspension trainer. Mid-length, stand facing. And I go out, together, out, together. Then my TRX Low Row, standing facing, straighten, and squeeze for 10. Just keep the band around your knees. Then we're going to bring your straps to mid-calf length and do 10 of your banded hip presses. Bam. You do not have to stick with me. Okay, go at your own pace. You guys ready for this? I'm going to restart the timer here. 6 minutes on the clock. Let's go. 10 of each. And again, if you get ahead of me, awesome. If you get behind me, no problem. It's not a race with me. It's a race with yourself. So it's 10 squat jacks, 10 banded low rows. Standing facing, big squeeze. I'm going to bring my toes up towards my shins, choosing a fairly challenging angle. Buns tight, body straight. After you finish your 10 low rows, you're going to go to your 10 TRX hip presses. You'll lengthen your straps to mid-calf length, drop the heels in. You might even be ahead of me already. Tension on your band. Oh, this is the mean one. If you pull ahead of me, this is where it's going to be. When you finish this, back to your squat jacks right away. All right, I'm going back to my TRX squat jacks, keeping this band around my knees. Your bum is already on fire. Are those knees tracking over your middle toes? Your low rows are next. I'm going to walk it under a little lower here. Are you squeezing those glutes for all 3 exercises? 4 minutes left. How many rounds have you gotten? I'm going to my hip presses. What exercise are you at? Are you ahead of me? It's quite possible here. Tension on the band, buns tight, 10 each. Yeah, this is the mean one. Who wrote this workout? All right, I'm done with 2 rounds. Are you there yet? Going back to my TRX squat jacks. The hardest part is standing up and getting down with this band around your knees, right? All right. After my squat jacks, I go back to my low rows. We have 3 minutes left. After this, we stretch. You got it. This is your final push of the day. You can do anything for 3 minutes. If you weren't sweating yet, which I don't believe, this is where it's going to happen. Remember, you don't have to stay with me. And you can take breath breaks when you need to. Whew. It's that getting up and coming back down. It's like my 5-year-old, if he needs help in the potty and he runs out of the potty with his underpants around his ankles. It's kind of how I feel like right now. 2 minutes left. Can you get through 2 more rounds? Can you get through 1 more round? How's your form? Is it as good as it was when you started? You still engaging your bum? Shoulders away from your ears. Those hip presses. Did I mention your bum is what's going to be sore tomorrow? True story. One minute left, guys. Can you do 1 more round? I'm going to try to squeeze in 1 more round, see if I can get it. Oh boy. We have 30 seconds left. What do you got? Big finish. All right. Let's see if I can finish this round. All right, 20 seconds to go. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You made it. All right, if I counted correctly, I think I got 5 rounds. So write down what you got right now, because again, when you go through this workout again, you'll want to see if you can beat that. All right, grab some water. Let's cool it down, stretch it out, and call it a day. That was an awesome job, guys. And a super fun workout, too. We're going to start with your TRX child's pose. So my straps will stay at mid-calf length, unless you had it adjusted differently for your squat jacks. And I'm going to be ground facing the anchor point. I have my hands in the foot cradles, and sink my bum between my heels. Big inhale, exhale, hinge forward, ears line up with your biceps, and just a little bit of downward pressure on those foot cradles. Give me some big inhales and exhales here. Now what's great about the suspension trainer is it moves, so I can swing to the right and swing to the left. Maybe I can hold it on the left for a moment. Sway side to side. Are you keeping that bum back into your heels? You'll notice that's also stretching out your ankles too in this position. Open up your chest and your shoulders. Give me a big inhale. Exhale. Slowly roll that up, one vertebra at a time. All right, I am not a yogi, but with how much we used your piriformis, your glute medius, your glute minimus, we're going to use your TRX pigeon pose. So I'm going to have you, and you can take off your shoes for this. I'm not going to, because you'll probably be able to smell my feet through the video. But I'm going to have you put your heel right in the nook of your hip. So I'm taking my left heel, put it in the nook of my right hip. I'm turning my right foot downward so my shoelaces touch the floor. I'm going to have my hands in the foot cradles. Okay, so I'm starting at my swan, actively pressing down into those foot cradles. Inhale. Exhale, I'm going to fold my hands forward over this leg. Now your goal is to try to really flatten your right leg, knee, and shoelaces on the ground and slowly let your left bum fall toward the floor. I'm actively pressing into the foot cradles, letting my shoulders fall away from my ears. Now I'm going to have you take both arms and stretch them over to the left. Hold for a moment. Oh my. Ooh. And over to the right. Hold it for a moment. And give me an inhale. Exhale, slowly bring that up. Let's switch sides. So I'm going to take my right heel, put it kind of the nape of my left hip, straighten my left leg out so my shoelaces are touching the ground. Hands in the foot cradles, pushing downward on those to help engage my core. Starting in swan, exhale, and forward fold to pigeon. Now, I am not a TRX yoga expert. If you check out Crystal or the other Shana's videos, they do some amazing yoga with the suspension trainer. They're kind of my idols. So I don't try to be them by any means. My name is also Shana, but I'm not a yoga expert. I just really enjoy the stretch. I'm going to have you reach both arms to the right. Inhale and exhale. And both arms to the left. Inhale and exhale, actively pressing that left leg straight, letting your shoulders fall away from your ears. Good. Breathe in, breathe out, and bring that up. Seated figure 4 stretch. So now you're going to slide your bum way back behind the anchor. I'm going to get right to that piriformis here. My left leg is straight. I'm going to cross my right ankle over the left knee and bend that left knee up. Pushing my right knee away from me, gently lift my chest up toward the anchor. I'm pressing my right knee away, lifting my chest up. Now, if you want to add on to that stretch, pick up the toes on your left foot. Again, I'm engaging behind my shoulder blades. My shoulders are falling down and back out of my ears. Definitely feel where that band was pulling today, don't you? Good. Now, if you want to hold this longer, just pause the video, hold it longer. I do not blame you right now. And other side. Let's straighten out your right leg. Cross your left ankle over your right knee. Bend the right knee up and gently lift your chest up toward the anchor, letting your left knee fall away from your body. Now you can pick up the right toes if you want that added stretch, but all the while you're gently pulling, tugging behind those shoulder blades, lifting your chest up toward the anchor. Have I mentioned that's where you're going to be sore tomorrow? Because it totally is. All right, let's slowly bring that up. I'm going to bring you into your TRX lower back stretch. So your straps can stay at mid-calf length. You'll be standing facing the anchor point. Walk it back with your arms straight out in front of you. Give me a big inhale. Exhale, press your bum back, fold your body in half. This feels so good. Natural traction on your spine, and just hang for a moment. A few inhales, exhales. You can let your head fall. Some yeses, some nos. Good, inhale. Exhale, slowly bring that up. Finally, your chest and torso stretch. Keep your straps where they are. Stand facing away from the anchor. Walk forward with your arms in a T position, pressing your hands away. Now step one foot in front of the other Actively press the hands apart. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. And again, big inhales and exhales as you open the chest up. Do you feel those push-ups? I totally do. Now move back just a touch. Drop your right arm down. Reach your left arm up and over the top. Big side bend. And then bring your left arm down. Bring the right arm up and over the top, keeping lots of tension on those straps. Now take a step back. Give me a forward fold. Take a bow and just hold. Once again, let the head and neck relax. Make sure you are holding onto those handles as you just bend forward. And come on up. Give yourself a hand. Wow. That was a super challenging workout. We used the TRX Mini Bands. We used the TRX suspension trainer. We challenged your strength. We challenged your cardiorespiratory system at the end with that AMRAP. And we used pretty much every single muscle in the body, and hopefully you learned some really new and cool exercises. Guys, I had so much fun with you. I can't wait to join you again in another video. Thanks for hanging out with me today, everybody.